We welcome now to the program Danielle Morgan, Executive Director of the Mississippi Tourism Association. Danielle, morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So we got the big Memorial Day weekend coming up on us, and that typically draws people out on the roads. They'll be traveling and touring around, and that means folks are probably in Mississippi or going into other states, but a whole lot of people from out of state are coming to visit the great state of Mississippi. What are you thinking?
That's right. We hope so. We love a long weekend here in the state. We're seeing that travel demand is really high. It's at near level highs. At 91% of Americans say they plan to travel in the next
Wow.
6 months. It's been holding tight at that since about April too. So that fares really well for Mississippi, and we are looking forward to a busy weekend. A lot of events going on around the state, honoring veterans, and also leisure activities too. So we're looking for a great weekend.
So it doesn't appear from that report that the inflated price of the elevated, I should say, price of gas and fuel and other travel means seems to be deterring Americans from getting out.
It is not deterring them, but it is changing what they're planning. They might be driving rather than flying as a way to save money. So, which
Hmm.
fares well for Mississippi. As you know, we're a drive-in state. Our touch states are some of our biggest markets, and so that's a good thing because we can provide great experiences at a great value. So.
What do they come to see in Mississippi?
Well, I think one of the unique things you and I talk about often is how diverse our state is. If you want to go hear some gritty blues, you can head to the Delta. If you want the beach, of course, all the great coastal communities, gaming's a huge draw for us. And we've seen a tremendous growth in outdoor recreation. During COVID, people really started discovering outdoor assets more than they ever had, and we're still seeing that coming in really strong.
Yeah. Well, what are you hearing from the casinos, the various hoteliers, accommodations? What are they saying that they expect this weekend? Are they all ready for a big, busy weekend?
They are. This is kind of the official kickoff of summer. So spring has been strong, and so I think everybody's geared up for a big weekend. Of course, we still have some staffing challenges in hospitality, so we do ask that you be patient. Those folks are working hard to give you a great experience, sometimes working two jobs. So.
What's the economic impact typically on a Memorial Day extended weekend? Do you guys track that? Do we know about that?
We really don't. It's a hard thing to track with all the multipliers and different areas. A lot of individual communities do track spending, and they kind of have specific numbers for that market. But statewide, it's difficult. We really track annually, mostly by fiscal year. But we can look at those monthly tax receipts for the special tourism taxes, and that gives us a good indication of how strong it will be. But that's about 2 months before we get those numbers.
What is the Mississippi Tourism Association doing to promote Mississippi presently, Danielle? What's the message?
Well, a lot of what we're doing is supporting our members throughout the state. We have members in every sector of tourism. And of course, we have a huge marketing from the ARPA funds, the federal funds, that'll be rolling out any minute in several communities across the state. And so we expect that to provide a big boom as well.
Right. Do we advertise and promote the state outside of the state to try to encourage people and attract people to come to Mississippi?
Absolutely. Visit Mississippi does most of the promotion, and the majority is done out of state. And so we're seeing great results from what they're doing there. Great numbers. As you and I have talked about, during COVID, Mississippi was one of the strongest in tourism recovery, and we have seen some of the strongest visitor spending in our history during that time. So we're hoping to get back there. We like being in the lead. We like being one, and so we're going to work hard to try and regain that position.
Right. Are you seeing kind of a wave of an increase in travel across the country? People, I think, still maybe a bit of cabin fever from being locked up during the COVID lockdown era. Just in talking to your peers in the other states, is they also expecting big travel weekend in summer?
Absolutely. Yes, we're very positive about the outlook. You know, we here in Mississippi, our visitor spending last year actually was a little above 2019 pre-pandemic, and so we're expecting to even exceed that this year. But that's really strong coming out of such a tough time for our industry. So we're very positive, and we're looking forward to providing great experiences.
What's on the horizon for the Mississippi Tourism Association? You guys got any projects underway you're working on right now?
Well, you know, we are always working to grow and prosper tourism in Mississippi. It is Mississippi's fourth largest industry, but we're always looking to grow that. We feel like tourism is a really important economic driver for Mississippi. Also, really important to our economic development initiatives too, because tourism provides a great experience for visitors, but also a great quality of life for our residents. And so that's something we're always working on, is how we can develop our communities to attract and retain talent and make sure all of our residents have a great quality of life.
Sure. Who are your members exactly, Danielle, in the association?
So we have members across all sectors. We have, of course, destination marketing organizations, or CVBs, in individual communities. We have hoteliers. We have members from the casino industry, and then kind of media partners that are involved as well, that get to know our members and work with them on media. And so we really run the gamut across the industry, and we're always looking to grow that. We have some cities who may not have official tourism entities, but they're a part of the association as they're trying to cultivate. We know tourism is a way to grow the economy in these communities, and so everybody's looking to cultivate their industry, and so we're happy to support them and also provide advocacy for the industry. And then we do a lot of educational events too, to kind of make sure that we're developing our tourism professionals in the state.
Would there be any reason for an out-of-state entity to be a member of the Mississippi Tourism Association?
Possibly, anybody that really has an interest in tourism in Mississippi is certainly, there's a lot of ancillary industries. Like if you look at, distributors, food distributors, and beverage distributors and those type of things, they rely on the success of the tourism industry. And even if you look at, power companies and things of that nature, they provide a tremendous impact for the different entities there as well. So it's a wide reach, and we're growing, and we're excited to be able to support the industry that's working really hard for Mississippi.
One thing I guess I didn't ask, although we touched a bit on just the price of travel and fuel in particular, is should we expect any sort of constraints, shortages of fuel, or constraints on hotel room accommodation availability, because it seems like they're still looking to get fully staffed and at least return to the staffing levels pre-COVID. Is that a problem?
Workforce, I think, is still a problem across all sectors at this time. We are working on solutions for that. I think we're starting to see some improvement, but we hope there's a shortage of hotel rooms. That's a good problem. But, but as far as fuel, I haven't heard anything along those lines. Fuel prices have come down a bit, so that'll help get people moving. But we're certainly positive. We know, as you mentioned, even though inflation's hitting people, they still want to get out there and see friends and family and have great experiences, because as we know, life is short. So
you certainly got to refuel, re-energize, reconnect. Just kind of clear the mind a bit of all the grind from daily work, daily life, and get away, and then you're sort of refueled and back at it. Come to Mississippi.
That's
no
right.
doubt about it.
That's right.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
it, Danielle. Thanks for joining us today,
George.
and I'm sure we'll check in with you again and see how everything's going as the vacation season progresses. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
We're coming right back in the Element Wealth studios, folks. Stay with us.